Hi, I'm Pam Fox. Thank you for watching my channel. Today's video is going to be about being a vegan who is married to a non-vegan. And what I want to say, I want to do a shout out to Kahlua, but what I want to say to anyone who's in this circumstance is there's some things you need to remind yourself of when you're in this situation. You need to remind yourself that what you are doing is essentially taking responsibility for your own health. And isn't that a wonderful thing? And your spouse is going to respect and admire you for that. He may not act like it and he may not tell you, but he is going to respect and admire the fact that you are taking personal responsibility for your health. The other thing you need to remind yourself is that your husband loves you and that he wants what's best for you. And again, he may not act like it and he may not say so, but you know that he loves you and you know that he wants what's best for you. And that means that he wants you to be in good health. So if you have started a plant-based diet and now you're eating differently, you have to remind yourself that human beings are selfish by nature. And so you're doing something where you're taking away animal foods and junk foods, and those are things that he selfishly still wants because he hasn't come to the place where you're at. And so as far as I'm concerned, I just let my husband have that. I don't try to force him. I don't do anything to try to encourage him to become vegan. Now, I am fortunate. My husband is very supportive. He hasn't tried to, he hasn't made fun of me or complained or anything like that. We both eat vegan when we're in the house for the most part. Occasionally, if he knows I'm just going to be eating fruit for dinner, he might make a grilled cheese sandwich or bring home a steak or something like that. Not even that often, but occasionally he might do that. Or when we eat out, he doesn't order vegan when we eat out. And he doesn't tell people he's a vegan, even though he does probably eat vegan 90% of the time. Now, what I say to myself and what I say even to other people is that my husband is a smart man, and he's smarter than I am. He's brilliant. He's a smart man, and he'll come around. And I believe that he will. Again, we are selfish by nature, human beings are, and giving up, as most of us know, giving up the foods that we love, that we've eaten our whole life, the foods that are nostalgic and comforting and soul foods and all of that, it is difficult. It's a difficult thing to even ponder. It's a difficult thing to even imagine, let alone to take that step and try it. So just be patient, continue on your path, and you just have to continually remind yourself of these things. Your husband loves you. He wants what's best for you. He is smart. He'll come around. He is selfish. And so, I don't really know what advice to give you in terms of if you are the primary cook in the family, cook all your meals vegan. And know that sometimes you're going to bomb. Sometimes you're going to go to all this expense and effort and make a food and you're not even going to like it. And you're going to feel really bad. And in that case, you can tell your husband, yeah, I really tanked it on that one, didn't I? I'm sorry. Hopefully tomorrow's dinner will be better. I won't cook that one again. Or maybe it's just because your taste buds haven't adapted yet. So stick to, and that's another reason I like the starch solution. It has a lot of recipes in it that are similar to the foods that you're probably already eating, except they're vegan. So things like, vegan spaghetti or vegan pizza or vegan Mexican, those are foods that you're probably already eating. And if you can become a really good cook at cooking these vegan meals, they're going to be delicious. Nobody's going to feel like they're missing out on anything, trust me. But in the beginning, it's going to be tough. So if you're the primary cook, go ahead and start cooking vegan for the whole family. And if someone makes a total fit about it and is a baby about it and is just entirely selfish about it, and you have to, incorporate some chicken, but just do a little bit along with the vegan meal. So it's a small portion of their food so that maybe you're both getting, it's a compromise between the two of you. Or like we keep sour cream and cheese in the house. And when we do tacos, for example, my husband does put sour cream and cheese on his food. My daughter doesn't. she is pretty much converted over to veganism, with the exception that she's only 20 years old, so she's not very organized or prepared. And so if she's at somebody's house and they're serving meat, she'll eat it. If she's at her grandma's house and they're serving meat, she'll eat it. If she's out with friends at a restaurant, you get what I'm saying. So she's lacking in that preparedness component of being vegan, where you do always have to be prepared, because you're going to find yourself in those situations, and you're either going to have to starve and rely on willpower to not eat those foods, or you're going to have to be prepared and bring your own food, or know how to order at a restaurant, or fill up before you go, these kinds of things. So yeah, for the most part, my household eats just about all vegan. The vast majority of the foods we eat. So I guess I would just recommend that maybe you have to make compromises, if you just can't get somebody on board. Now, if your husband is the primary cook and he's not willing to cook vegan foods for you, then I don't know what to tell you, other than you're just going to have to say, well, I need to do this. I think it's going to be a really beneficial thing for my health. So you're going to have to cook, your food, and I'll have to cook my own food, which would be an unfortunate thing, but you got to do what you got to do. So I hope this helps. Continue to stay positive and continue to be patient. Be patient in these situations where you get frustrated, and just talk to yourself and remind yourself that there's a learning curve with this, and it's temporary. And I know I've been a vegan for 1 year, and I'm at the point where it's much easier. The food tastes wonderful. I'm excited on a daily basis about being a vegan. I have experienced healing in numbers of ways. So all of these things add up to just a happier, healthier me, which makes for a happier, healthy household. My husband has definitely noticed the difference in my moods, in my energy levels. So he's happy about those things. My daughter is happy about those things. So those things, they may take time, but they will rub off on the family. They will begin to notice, if some improvements are occurring in your life, they will begin to notice those things, and, it will affect them as well. So be patient. Continue to find support. Continue to find support. You have to have that. You have to have a source of ongoing, continuous, daily support when you start this lifestyle. And even if you're getting, tons of support from your family, that may not be enough unless they're all vegans. And YouTube is a great place to do that. Watch my videos. I've got a bunch of them. I just started my channel a little over a month ago, but I think I've got about 15 videos. I'm trying to post something new, a few days a week. Find someone else on YouTube that inspires you and follow them. Watch their videos every day. And that will give you a daily, ongoing source of support. I cannot emphasize this enough. When I started my journey, I did my workouts. I watched videos during my workouts, and I always really, really looked forward to that time, because not only was I working out, but I was getting that source of encouragement and support as well. And just continue to educate. There are a lot of great resources. I list them in many of my links in my videos. Doctors like Dr. John McDougall, Dr. Esselstyn, Dr. Colin Campbell. There are several leaders in this vegan movement, doctors who are really doing a great job of getting the message out. They all have videos on YouTube. Dr. McGregor is another great one. I'll put all these links in the description box below, but Dr. McGregor's YouTube channel is nutritionfacts.org. He is fantastic. You've got to continue to educate yourself. That is going to be a very, very powerful source of support for you. Okay? So, be patient with your husband. Understand that he's human and he has selfish desires like we all do, and he doesn't quite understand what it is you're doing. If he's like my husband, if he's super healthy and energetic, then he doesn't have that health component really pushing him to want to try something that's going to make him feel better. And I'm glad my husband's healthy and energetic, but it does make a difference in your desire to go plant-based if you don't have any ailments or conditions. So be patient with your husband and just keep reminding yourself that these trials are temporary, and that he's a smart man and he will come around. Okay. Thank you for watching.